what happened in Rowena was really kind of a wake-up call, right? Because with those gorge winds, that sparked, and next thing you know, it just took off, right? And so the devastation there was vastly different and way more intense. And so I think that it's not even just the issues of all of the homes that are lost and the structures and the impact to water infrastructure and resilience, but then you have these subsequent effects of what's going to happen with potential landslides or contamination of water, septic issues, right?
Yes.
So there's both pre-fire planning that needs to be done.
Okay.
But there's also post-recovery work that has to be done, including those subsequent issues that, well, what happens if we do get a landslide because now there's no vegetation, right?
Yeah.
So I think the county has done an amazing job of putting together the resources for Rowena recovery. And it's just kind of a hindsight is 2020. What I would hope is that those lessons are being used to plan for the upcoming fire season.
Yeah.
Because as we know now, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I could see the same kind of devastation that happened to Rowena would be the same kind of impact if it was, say, Tye Valley. And the town of Tye Valley, right, where they have some of the same septic issues and water infrastructure issues. So I think there's kind of 4 key areas that we should be like really fully preparing for ahead of time and having these conversations ahead of time, but addressing in terms of resilience.
Okay.
So the first is water reliability and system hardening. So thinking about things like with Rowena, can you protect the pump stations? Do you have backup power? Is there watershed protection, or is the watershed open to the ravages of the fire, right? And then do you have redundancy to be able to continue to provide that water? Second one is road access and evacuation readiness. One of the things that is interesting is, when you get that level 3 go, right? Like you need to know where to go. Like you need to know how to get out of my neighborhood. There's one way in and one way out, right? From a certain part of where I live, right? Unless you go up through the forest land itself. So having really defined evacuation routes that people are aware of and know to do, it's a little bit like tsunami warning at the coast, right?
Yeah.
You're in the tsunami zone, you're out of the tsunami zone, but really, the emergency manager has been working with the cities to develop those. And, I think they need to be released to the public and really have people understand ahead of time, where do I go if I'm part of that fire?
Okay.
And then emergency communication and preparedness, the ability to have been signed up for, it was Citizen Alert Everbridge when I was going through the fire, right? And you can choose how you want to get your notifications, right?
Yeah.
But you need to make sure you can get those notifications. So depending on where you are for cell coverage, right, you may or may not be getting the message. And also, are those messages being prepared and distributed in a language that makes sense to the homeowners or the residents that are there? And then pairing that with having the homeowners be prepared. So the Ready, Set, Go is great, but what are the other things that are being done to help prepare homeowners ahead of time of how to respond accurately and how to minimize the risk and the damage that happens to their property? I'm Lisa Gambee, and I approve this message.